Welcome, my dear listener, to Limitless Tales with Peace, where we travel through the heart of Africa and listen to stories that teach, inspire, and heal. If you haven't yet subscribed, do so now, because every story here carries wisdom from the ancestors. Today's tale is one that still echoes through time. The story of a queen whose hidden secret brought ruin upon her people. A tale from the ancient village of Umuchukwu, a land of beauty, power, and pride.
Long ago, before the white man's roads crossed the forests, the kingdom of Umuchukwu was the jewel of the eastern lands. Its people were known for their craftsmanship and courage. The rivers sang through its valleys, and the hills guarded it like silent giants. At its heart stood Queen Chioma, wife to King Jidena, ruler of Umuchukwu. Queen Chioma was a woman of rare grace, skin like polished bronze, eyes like calm water, and a smile that could melt even the hardest warrior's heart. The people adored her. She fed the poor, danced during harvests, and prayed to the gods with such devotion that even the chief priest called her the daughter of the ancestors. But no one knew that Chioma carried a secret older than the kingdom itself.
Queen Chioma never spoke of her childhood. When the maidens sat in the courtyard telling stories of their families, she would smile softly and say, "The past is like the wind, my daughters, it comes and goes." She had appeared in Umuchukwu years before her marriage, brought by a strange old woman from a distant village. The woman had begged the late king to shelter her niece, saying only, "She is meant for greatness." The next morning, the old woman vanished, and Chioma remained. King Jidena had fallen in love with her instantly. Her beauty, her calm, her mysterious silence all drew him in. But as the years passed, strange things began to happen in the palace. The royal well would bubble even on dry days. The moonlight would shimmer brighter whenever Chioma stood on the balcony. And sometimes, when the queen bathed at night, the guards swore they saw ripples of light dance across her skin like the surface of a river.
One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, the chief priest, Chike, came to the king. He bowed low and said, "My king, the ancestors whisper with unrest. The spirit world watches our queen with weary eyes. There is something ancient in her presence, something that does not belong to the world of men." King Jidena laughed at first. He loved his wife deeply and refused to listen to the old man's fears. But Chike pressed on. "Your Majesty, secret buried in the soul can poison a kingdom. Watch her during the moon festival. Truth hides in the shadows of light." The king dismissed him, but that night sleep would not come, for the queen had gone missing from her bed.
Queen Chioma walked alone under the moonlight, her bare feet silent on the palace path. She carried a small calabash of palm oil and a white cloth. Her heart trembled, but her mind was firm. She reached the sacred well, the one sealed since the founding of Umuchukwu. There she knelt and whispered, "Mother of the deep, your daughter still serves you. Spare these people. Do not let them suffer for my choice." The air around her shimmered. The well began to glow faintly. Then a soft, watery voice rose from its depths. "You have forgotten your vow, Chioma. You married a mortal. You carry a secret child of two worlds. You have broken the covenant." Tears filled the queen's eyes. "Please, mother, I loved him. I love him." But the voice replied, Love cannot erase blood. When your secret is revealed, the waters will rise. Unseen by the queen, one of her attendants, Ngozi, had followed her. Terrified by what she had witnessed, she fled back toward the palace, but the earth trembled and she fell. The next morning, Ngozi was found lying by the path, alive but silent. Her voice was gone forever.
The festival of the full moon arrived. The people danced, sang, and praised their beautiful queen. Chioma stood beside her husband, her golden attire shimmering like sunlight on water. But her heart was heavy. She felt the weight of her secret pressing upon her soul. Then, as the drums reached their peak, a voice cried out from the crowd. An old woman stepped forward, her hair white as cotton, her eyes fierce like lightning. "Chioma, daughter of the river," she shouted. "You wear a crown of men, but you are born of the depths. Have you forgotten who you are?" The people gasped. The music stopped. The king's face turned pale. "What is she saying, my wife?" he asked softly. But Chioma could not speak. The old woman raised her hands to the sky. "You are warned, child. The river demands what is hers." And at that moment, thunder rolled across the heavens.
The ground beneath the palace began to tremble. From the sacred well, water burst forth, flooding the courtyard. The people screamed and ran, but the water rose fast, sweeping away huts and fields. Queen Chioma stood motionless, tears streaming down her face. Her skin shimmered like glass, her hair flowed like liquid. King Jidena ran to her and held her tight. "Tell me the truth, my love. Who are you?" Her voice broke. "I was born of the river, Jidena. My mother is the goddess beneath the earth. I was sent to live among humans, to bring peace between our worlds, but I fell in love and broke the sacred vow. My secret has brought doom." He shook his head in disbelief. "Then let me drown with you. I will not leave." She smiled sadly. "You must live to tell the world what love and lies can do." She kissed his forehead, and the flood swallowed her. The waters rose higher and higher until the great kingdom of Umuchukwu disappeared beneath a vast lake. Only the hilltops remained, and the cries of the people faded beneath the waves.
When the storm ended, only a few survivors remained. Among them was Chisom, the queen's closest friend. She climbed to the top of the highest hill and looked down at the great lake that had swallowed her home. Every night after that, villagers swore they could hear a woman's voice singing from beneath the water, soft, sorrowful, full of love and regret. "Forgive me, my king. Forgive my secret." The place became known as Miri Chioma, the Lake of the Queen. Generations later, even travelers who passed near its shores said the water glowed blue on full moon nights, and if you listened closely, you could still hear the Queen's song.
Years turned to decades, and the story of Queen Chioma became a legend. Elders told their children that secrets, no matter how deeply buried, will one day rise just like water from the earth. They said, if truth is ignored, destruction will follow. But if truth is faced, peace will come. The ruins of Umuchukwu became a warning to all who heard the tale. Moral lesson: no secret, no matter how carefully hidden, stays buried forever. Truth is like water. When it is blocked, it finds another way to flow. Honesty may hurt for a moment,
but deceit destroys for generations. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Because here, every story reminds us that the wisdom of yesterday still guides us today. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and stay limitless.